So in 2006, we got Slither. Slither is the story of a small rural town that gets plunged into chaos thanks to a man who gets infected by an alien parasite that mutates and morphs its host into brooding monster people from beyond the stars. Our character, Grant, becomes the main host for the parasite that comes to Earth via comet, just like in The Blob, and begins going through strange changes, both physically and mentally. He gains an insatiable hunger for meat, furthering his transformation and his need to spread and multiply, creating slug carriers and zombies in his wake. Soon, the town's sheriff gets a posse together to try and tackle the intergalactic squid problem, and you could probably guess how that goes. The small town gets overrun by hive-minded parasitic plague slugs and zombie carriers, and it is now up to our gang of heroes to save the town and probably the world from the Grant thing and its evil brood. Slither is written and directed by James Gunn, who is quite known for his work in superhero movies. But he also has quite a background in horror and horror-adjacent stuff like the Dawn of the Dead remake, the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, Brightburn the superhero horror movie, and Lollipop Chainsaw the video game. Slither is a fun, low-scare, and mildly gruesome film, often called dark comedy more than anything else.
It looks like something that fell off my dick during the war.
I've even seen it listed online somewhere as being Lovecraftian. Now, I definitely see what people mean. Alien, tentacles, boo. However, the movie definitely doesn't have the same Lovecraftian feel as something like The Thing or In the Mouth of Madness, neither of which were written by Lovecraft. It has a very similar vibe to Bride of Reanimator.
Herbert West is not just your ordinary doctor.
West took my body, but he cannot take my mind.
So I guess it's Lovecraftian in that sense. The visual effects are pretty great most of the time. The flesh is extra fleshy and wet. There's even a scene near the end of the movie where you can see the Grant monster recreating the shunting scene from Society, and it looks gruesomely spectacular.
Well, now that is some fucked up shit.
Just looking at the scene makes you feel like you're having the flu or something. But my absolute favorite visual in the movie, though, is the terrifying close-up of the one woman's face as we see the vignette of shadow around her, as the car she is in gets engulfed in parasitic slugs. Now for some criticisms on the visuals. Every now and then, though, the Grant monster, when it speaks, you can tell that the puppet mouth isn't really cooperating, or that it's a bit limiting in expressing finer facial details. But other than that, and the occasional weirdness, the visuals are a feast for the eyes and the stomach. Most of the actors do a pretty good job at their roles. Just to be fair, though, these roles were all written to be pretty two-dimensional and to come across as being campy and downright silly.
His arm was all bendy, Mayor.
Well, it's obvious the bastard's got Lyme disease.
What?
You touch some deer feces and then you eat a sandwich without washing your hands, you got your Lyme disease.
And that makes you look like a squid.
Oh, well, fuck you all for laughing.
Some familiar faces like Elizabeth Banks, Michael Rooker, and Nathan Fillion act as our main bananas. All three of these actors played their roles pretty well, although you shouldn't expect the greatest of character depth with such straightforward story.
Hey, Starling.
Hey, Bill, Wally.
Hi. Grant around by any chance?
No, he's not home from work yet.
Mr. Grant?
He's not home yet, Wally, I just said.
Give me a couple of your ribeyes.
How many you need?
8. No, 10. No. You know what? Give me 14.
Having a party?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. It's a little surprise for the wife.
Hey, Bill. What you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just I'm trying to get a buzz on, but I can't. I'm too buff. Got too much muscle mass. I don't know what it is.
Oh, really?
We do have a whole load of colorful background characters too, though, that are thoroughly entertaining.
Shelby, you gonna create hysteria?
Not today, Bill.
How about that Deputy Margaret? You have a little deputy thing going on, you two?
Margaret packed a box lunch.
No shit.
What the hell happened to you, Otis?
Poison ivy out back, maybe?
We're itchy. No, they're not my parents. They're trying to trick you. The worms are in their brains.
The only real criticism I have with the movie is that at times it does this weird fade to black scene transition that makes it feel like you're watching something airing on TV, as though a commercial break is supposed to happen. Strangely though, the cinematographer George Middleton has quite a TV-based resume, with things like Fringe, Smallville, and even some Game of Thrones. Another nitpick is the freeze-frame and digital graphic that occurs in order to show us that Grant gets infected out in the field near the start of the film. I feel it's pretty immersion-breaking when things like this happen that are not diegetic. Now, compare that to something in The Thing, where Wilford Brimley's character Blair discovers how the Thing alien assimilates other organisms. Cheesy computer graphic, but in the world. I just feel like this could have been pulled off better, or not even shown at all. Let the audience figure some stuff out for themselves, instead of having it spoon-fed to us. But, all in all, 2006's Slither is a fun experience, a homage to 80s horror movies, and is a film I highly recommend to people that are fans of body horror and alien invasion movies. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some possum to track down.